Hey, this is Mike with FrontRangeBouldering.com, and we're here at the Boulder Outlook for the Medical Marijuana Legal Defense Fundraiser. We're chatting with Johnny O of the Johnny O Band. Johnny O is a high-energy blues band. Johnny, thank you for joining us.
Great, thanks for doing the interview.
So we're here for a legal defense fundraiser. What's your thoughts on that, Johnny?
Well, you know, I think it's great. It's a great cause. It's been a long time coming. You know, we've been seeing the tide turn on this issue for a long time, and I think it's great that it's come to the point that it is now, and hopefully it'll keep moving in the right direction with things like this happening. Hopefully it'll help that happen.
So you've been playing, or you've had your band in Boulder for 20 years, you say? Since 1989?
Wow, 20 years, huh? Yeah.
So you've seen some changes in this town. Did you ever think it'd come to this?
Well, not really. I mean, the band that I was in the 90s, Band du Jour, I can't think of how many times we got shaken down on the hill, and we got in so much trouble over the years. I can think of at least 3 or 4 times, that somebody was taking the rap, or we were, out behind Tulagi's. They used to patrol that like SS soldiers back there in the day. But
so you guys got harassed behind the Tulagi's for taking a little bit of a medical break.
Yeah, for years, and it was, and that's, we also traveled around the country quite a bit, and that was a constant thing to be thinking about, because you get 6 or 8 people in a van and you drive coast to coast, regular, all the time, so it kind of turns into a constant issue you have to be aware of. And so it's nice that things are slowly, at least in Colorado and certain states, are becoming a little bit more fair.
Johnny, do you have a card? Are you going to get a card? Do you need a card?
I probably need a card. I don't have a card currently, and I've just been really busy since it's been available. I just haven't had the chance to, but I have several friends that have, and it's for sure something that I think people should take advantage of.
The ocean sings, I reach under your shirt, and so many hummingbirds burst into the sky. So many hummingbirds.
We're here at the Boulder Outlook for the Medical Marijuana Legal Defense Fund for Mouse and other people involved with problems with the district attorney in Boulder County. We're meeting with Audible Sin of Cannabis Concoctions at Audible. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely, I'm glad to be here. Happy to talk.
So Audible, what are your thoughts about what's going on here tonight? And you made mention of something about some taxing that's going on that's basically shooting ourselves in the foot. Tell us about that.
First of all, I'm really happy to be involved with everything that's going on tonight here at the Outlook Hotel. I'm really happy that we're setting up some kind of fund for people that are in a situation where they need some help with their legal defense. So that's all really good. And so as far as the taxing goes, essentially as a caregiver, or as any business that's selling a prescription drug, which is what this is, a prescription drug, you're not required to pay sales tax. So and that's a federal law that you're not required to pay sales tax. So right now in Colorado, most depositories and most delivery services and on all the people that are providing this prescription drug they're actually paying the sales tax.
Why?
Well, and I think the reason that they're paying the sales tax, and I've heard Jeff Gard actually and some other attorneys that are involved in the industry say that it's the right idea to pay the tax. And it is. If you want to, it's the quickest, safest way to keep yourself from getting in any kind of trouble. Because everybody in this state's paying it. But right now in California, they're talking about California being the first state that's going to have full across the board for fund legalization, right, for medical marijuana or for marijuana in general. And the reason that they're pushing that initiative is because they can't charge any sales tax on the millions and millions of dollars of marijuana that's being sold in California right now. So basically, we're paying sales tax in Colorado, but we don't have to. And if we ever want it to be legalized across the board, all the people in the industry need to stop paying that sales tax to force the government to need to make the profit, because it's one of, if not the fastest growing industries in Colorado right now.
Yeah, you're right. No, you say don't pay sales tax. Won't we all get in trouble if we don't pay sales tax?
Well, in any normal business, usually you would all get in trouble if you're not paying sales tax. But it's a federal law that you're not required to pay sales tax specifically on prescription drugs. And all of these things, medical marijuana, all the edibles, all the stuff. I mean, even probably the equipment that you buy from the dispensary to use the marijuana or to bake the goods, or all of that stuff, theoretically shouldn't have to be sold with sales tax because it's a prescription drug. It should be treated just like anything else, just like morphine or just like, antibiotics or any of those things. This is the same thing as far as the law is concerned, so we shouldn't have to pay sales tax on it.
Yeah, how can people argue otherwise?
Absolutely. And I mean, the big argument has been that it's going to keep you out of trouble and it's going to keep them from looking at you if you pay a sales tax. I mean, they're not going to tell you when you pay it that you don't know it. So it's your job, and it's our job, the people that are involved in the industry, to stop paying that sales tax so that we can get ourselves somewhere.
That was funny. So you're a patient and a caregiver, Audible Son. Now, can I ask you a couple of technical questions?
Sure.
Some people don't use or smoke or do any type of marijuana, myself included. So what do you recommend is the best way to take your caregiver marijuana? What's the best way of taking it? With a vaporizer or whatever they call those things?
I mean, it really depends on what your situation is. I think that absolutely if you're going to be inhaling it, vaporizing or vapor is the absolute safest way to go. There's been all kinds of new stuff coming out, all kinds of edibles though, and tinctures and all kinds of other ways to take it where there's not even any inhaling whatsoever. Because I know that vapor is not supposed to contain any smoke, but usually it contains a little bit anyway.
It does.
It does usually. So I think that eating it is probably the safest way.
But isn't the effect different from if you eat it or if you inhale it?
Absolutely it is. I mean, basically what you have in cannabis is THC and your secondary cannabinoids. So when you burn weed with a lighter or marijuana with a lighter, it releases the THC and some secondary cannabinoids. However, when you bake it into a tincture or into some edibles or something, the heat process that happens in the preparation of that food causes a chemical reaction in the THC and creates a whole bunch of those secondary cannabinoids. So depending on what kind of cannabinoid it is that you're ingesting, the high is sometimes a little bit different. So say you have some marijuana, if you heat treat it to a certain temperature, you can get the secondary cannabinoids to become active, and then it's a way more of a body high, like a Mexican brickweed type of high, and then but if you just burn the stuff, or if you have just the pure THC, that should be more of like a head high, more of a frontal lobe type of experience. Less.